Hello again. Welcome to my tutorial to flying planes in Battlefield 1. First off, let's go over the controls. Pitch. This is the vertical movement of the plane, so pulling up or down. Yaw rotates the plane left or right, although does not move that much, and it's best used for slight adjustments in aiming. Roll tilts the plane to the left or to the right, and the throttle will make you go faster or slower. When you want to turn, it's always best to roll in the direction you want to turn and then pull up continuously, as you'll turn far better than if you tried to use the A and D or left stick.
Blood! Let's get this kite up in the air.
You're George Rackham, son of the 4th Earl of Windsor.
That's right. Hip hip beam.
Now there are 4 types of planes. They all handle the same within their categories. However, they offer all different wide-ranging guns and weaponry. First, and probably the most easiest to use, are the fighters. You can control their speed quite well. They're the most easiest to handle, however, are only really quite good against other planes. You got the attack plane. That's good for a wide range of things, and you get an additional gunner spot in the back. Third is the bomber, where you get another additional front gunner. It's better used on infantry. And then of course you have got the heavy bomber with another additional passenger spot. This can be used for repairing it or just diving out of. Some good maneuvers to learn and practice. Roll over and pull up. This way it will turn you back the way you was going pretty quickly. If you want to do it again but slower, you can pull up and then flip over. That's the slower way. Once you get good at handling the planes, it's far easier, and once you get practiced and whatnot. When it comes to flying, I highly recommend you fly in third person, as you get a good view all around you, and you're not restricted and limited by what you can see in the cockpit. When it comes to aiming, I highly recommend you switch to first person, as you'll get the sights and it will be much easier and clearer to hit targets. When it comes to repairing, you won't be able to control your plane, and it will just drift in a continuous direction at the same speed. However, fighter planes can control speed while repairing, so make sure to line up in a way that you won't crash during your repair. During repairing, or in first person for that matter, you can free look around by holding middle mouse, and you can also use this time to spot enemies to maybe go back for another gun run. When it comes to evasion from other attacking planes, you can either use rolling, you can loop around. This makes it extremely difficult for any other planes to hit you, as you're in a constant battle of looping around. Or my favorite method is just to fly close to things, and it's a good way of practicing, getting used to the handling of the planes, because if you're better at handling the plane than your opponent, they're going to crash into the obstacles. So, good evasion tactic, and it's a good practice method.
Whoa, look at that! You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Let's get these pictures back to base immediately.
With planes with an additional gunner seat, if you can get a good gunner, that's great, and can really significantly help you. Or if you get a bad gunner, they severely bring you down. Ideally, back gunners should only shoot boats and other planes, and maybe infantry after a dive. If they shoot anything else, it can just attract attention. If you haven't got a gunner and you've got someone on your tail, it's best to seat switch. The front gun is weak in comparison to the rear gun. The rear gun has a faster TTK than the front guns. So by the time you've seat switched, shot, you've more than likely got the plane. But you just need to make sure when you're seat switching, you have enough room in the air to not crash into anything. When aiming at infantry and other targets, switch to first person ADS. Use the pitch up and down to adjust the height, and then use the A and D keys, or yaw, to adjust your aim, and then fire. I usually just drop the bombs just before pulling up, or during pulling up. I don't really aim with the bombs, so I can't really give advice on that. Same with like the heavy bombers. I don't think I've got a kill with the heavy bomber, or many, if that. I mainly use the fighter and the attack.
Come on, let's do this.
You sure you don't want to sit this one out?
Not a chance. You owe me a bloody medal.
Now for my tips and tricks section. This will be just little short tips to help you out. Are people after you? Fly into the sun? You can't see? And nor can they behind you. So it makes it far difficult for them to hit you, and gives you a bit of time to work on an evasion. Flying too low can be quite dangerous as you move into the range of infantry fire and AA gunfire. However, flying low can be quite good for sneaking. If you want to sneak your way behind enemies, planes, or any other vehicles without attracting their attention. Committing to dogfights that you know you're going to lose is not worth it. It's always best to pull out, repair, and then try again. Especially if they seat switch and you know you haven't done enough damage beforehand, it's not worth it, as they are going to out damage you. Always line up your targets in advance. If you know there's a horde of enemies, get ready and line up, and then when you're coming in for your dive, just adjust your aim slightly if you need to. Repair as often as you can. If you're down at least 20 health, you should always try and repair it. If you know there's AA rocket guns or any other AA, you just be mindful and give yourself a bit more room to pull up, because if they damage your wings, you won't be able to pull up as well. Or even your engine. If they kill your engine, you'll have reduced speed and movability. When using the tank buster or tank hunter or any other type of anti-tank plane, don't fly at them directly from the front and their front. They can shoot you out, and they will, like, you can shoot them out. So always go from a higher angle where they can't shoot you, or even better from the rear where they can't shoot you. Some tips for dogfighting: mirror their movements, stay close to them, but not too close. It is possible to land, however, not always the best solution and can be a bit awkward, but it is possible to land in some situations, so you can potentially make your repairs on the ground. The best and easiest way of playing and practicing is use the fighter plane. Practice by flying close to things, as this will get you used to the handling of the planes, and it's a great evasion method. Get used to the controls. Once you get good at the controls, you'll get better with the handling. And yeah, if this has helped you, I know this is a bit of a basics, not like a super in-depth tutorial or guide. So if this helps, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Until next time, see ya.
And that's my story. A selfish man who risked his own life to save another, and in doing so, found he was saved himself. Things get mixed up in wartime though, and you'll probably hear other versions. A rogue pilot who stole a plane, who killed his buddy, then lied, cheated, and murdered his way across half the Western Front, only to escape court-martial in the chaos of an air raid. But don't listen to any of that. What you heard from me is the truth. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. Would I?